Imagine this, you have the perfect life. Boyfriend, girlfriend, you got the money, you got the fame, you're going out, you're having drinks, you're having a good time. Then you get in your car, you decide to drive home. You know you probably shouldn't, then bam! You make it home safely. You're a great drunk driver, that's not the problem. The real tragedy here is now you get a bad night of sleep, you spent a lot of money on drinks, and you're less productive the next day. Today, I want to talk about why I stopped drinking and the benefits it's had on my life. The first reason is health and productivity. So I've realized that the goals in my life that I want to achieve, drinking does not help me achieve them. If anything, it actually detracts from it. It pulls away from my goals and pulls me back. Because the goals in my life, what do I like to do? I care about my health and fitness. And so obviously drinking does not help me achieve those goals. I want to start my YouTube channel, maybe start a business. And when I'm waking up hungover or I'm getting a bad night of sleep, it's pulling away from my sharpness, my ability to wake up and go. If I want to build my career, again, I'm not as sharp as I normally am. When I want to achieve certain financial goals and I'm constantly going out and drinking, that's not helping. And so when I'm thinking about drinking, I'm trying to stack as many cards in my favor as possible. I want to be as productive, as sharp as I possibly can when it comes to achieving my goals. And what I notice is that drinking just simply didn't help me. Number two is the financial impact, and this is something I mentioned earlier. When you go out for a night of drinks, you're often not just getting one or two drinks, and even if you do and you're doing it frequently, that adds up. How much is the average cocktail drink in Colorado?
In Colorado, the average price of a cocktail drink is typically around $13.
The average drink is $13, and so if you're going out and you're getting even just two drinks 2 nights a week, you're already spending, close to $50 per week over the course of a month. That's $200. And that's being relatively conservative. And for me, financially, I would just rather spend that money on other things like purchasing equipment or software for my YouTube videos, or going out for a nice dinner, or just saving it to invest. I can put it in the stock market. I would just rather spend that money on something that I think would have a better or larger impact on my life than drinking would. The third, and I think that this might actually be the most important, is that many people use it as a social crutch. And so they feel uncomfortable in the environment that they're in. Or I mentioned earlier, you might come home to drink and de-stress. And the reason you're doing this is you're uncomfortable with yourself or the people that you're with or the environment that you're in. If you were sober, would you still be in this same environment or around these same people? And the answer is probably no. And so if that's the case, why are you drinking? I think that people will use drinking as a way to kind of cope with their problems. And then now you're just escaping them and you're not dealing with them. Like, earlier in the year I went through a breakup and I didn't drink at all. And had I drank, it might have taken me longer to heal from that process. And there are parts of it that I may have never healed from because I used drinking as a way to kind of numb the emotions and keep myself in this numb state where I don't have to deal with the emotions. Anytime I feel them, I can drink and kind of push them away. And so I think that people often do this, again, either with themselves and their own emotions or the people that they're around. If you have social anxiety, maybe you should work on networking and actually getting out there and talking to people and learning how to socialize. Or maybe you're just in the wrong environment and you shouldn't actually be going out and you'd rather prefer to stay in and do things like make content like I am. All in all, I think that there are additional benefits to not drinking, but these are the 3 most important that I found. Again, 1, it's productivity. I feel like I'm just much more productive when I don't drink, and drinking actually detracts. It pulls away from me achieving my goals. 2 is that from a financial perspective, it just doesn't make sense. Like, why am I spending all this money to go out and drink so I can be less productive the next day? I'm investing in something that is negatively impacting me. And then 3, people use it as a crutch, and I just think that drinking can be used as an excuse to avoid a situation that you don't want to deal with or help you cope with a situation that you're uncomfortable in. And I just don't think that that's a healthy way to deal with it. And ultimately, it's going to have a more of a negative impact on your life in the long run than it does in the short term. By the way, that's something else that I might just quickly mention here as maybe a little bonus is like, often when you drink, you might make mistakes. You might say things or do things that you wouldn't normally do if you were sober, and then you wake up and you regret it. you don't have those nights anymore. You don't wake up and have any regrets because you didn't do anything while you were under the influence of alcohol. And so I think that's maybe something else to add here. Not the most important reason for me, but I still think that it's maybe another reason.